Picture this. It's 2 a.m. Your phone rings. It's your mother. She's been rushed to the hospital. Your mind races. You check your bank balance. 25,000 rupees. The hospital advance is 50,000 rupees. You have a credit card with a 2 lakh rupees limit, but you've heard the horror stories of 42% annual interest. Your heart pounds. This isn't a hypothetical. This is a reality that 76% of Indians face. They simply don't have an emergency fund. Now ask yourself, if your salary stopped today, how many months could you survive? Be honest. 3 months? 1 month? Or would you be scrambling before the end of the week? Why do we ignore this? Because emergencies are invisible until they aren't. Consider Rahul, 34 years old, IT professional, 1.5 lakh rupees monthly salary. He'd been investing aggressively in equity mutual funds for years. Brilliant portfolio, but no emergency fund. Then came the layoff. 6 months of job search. He had to liquidate his investments at the worst possible time, when the market was down 15%. He lost money and growth potential. The double whammy. Your emergency fund isn't an investment. It's insurance. Insurance against selling your future when the present falls apart. It's the financial airbag that deploys when life crashes into you. So, how much do you actually need? The standard advice is 6 months of expenses. But that's like saying everyone should wear a size M shirt. Here's the real math. Let's say your monthly essential expenses are 50,000 rupees including rent, groceries, EMIs, insurance, utilities. That's your survival number, not your lifestyle number. No dining out, no vacations, no subscriptions. The rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months for stable dual income households. 6 to 9 months for single income families with dependents. And 9 to 12 months or a full year expenses if you're self-employed, in a volatile industry, or the sole earner with a large home loan. For a 50,000 rupees monthly expense, a 12-month emergency corpus is 600,000 rupees. That's your safety net. Now here's the question, where do you park this 6 lakh rupees so it stays safe, accessible, and doesn't get eaten by inflation? The emergency fund has 3 non-negotiables. First is safety. Your capital must not disappear. No risky bets. Second is liquidity. You need access within a day, not a week, not a month. Third is stability. The value must be predictable. No surprises when you withdraw. Returns? Returns come last. I repeat, returns are the last priority. I know that hurts the investor in you. But this isn't your growth portfolio. This is your lifeline. Most fund categories disqualify themselves immediately. Overnight funds are ultra-safe but offer lower returns. Conservative hybrid funds? They had negative returns 24.7% of the time over 1-month periods. Imagine needing your emergency money and discovering it's worth less than what you put in. That's not an emergency fund. That's a gamble. Let's start with the most familiar option, fixed deposits. The pros? They're safe, because bank deposits up to 5 lakh rupees are insured by DICGC. You know exactly what you'll earn. SBI currently offers around 6.8% for longer tenures, though shorter tenures yield much less. The cons? Premature withdrawal penalties. Break an FD before maturity and you lose a chunk of interest. Plus, the interest you earn is taxed at your income slab rate every year, so if you are in the 30% bracket, that 6.8% becomes just 4.76% post-tax. And here's the killer, FDs lock your money. Emergency doesn't wait for FD maturity. Would you ask a hospital to wait 6 months for your FD to mature? Now let's talk about the champion of emergency funds, liquid mutual funds. Liquid funds invest in short-term instruments like treasury bills and commercial paper maturing within 91 days. This keeps price movements tiny and returns steady. The numbers speak for themselves. The category average 3-year return is around 6.8%, with top funds delivering 7.04%. Bank of India Liquid Fund delivered 7.0% over 3 years, Axis Liquid Fund 6.9%. Franklin India Liquid Fund gave 6.4% over 1 year and 7.0% over 3 years. The real magic? Liquidity. Redemptions credit in 1 working day. And most funds offer instant redemption up to 50,000 rupees or 90% of your folio value per day, money in your bank within minutes. And here's the best part, no exit load. No penalty. You can redeem any amount, anytime. Arbitrage funds are the smart cousin of liquid funds. They profit from price differences between cash and derivatives markets. Returns? Category average is around 6.68% over 3 years, with top funds like Tata Arbitrage and Kotak Arbitrage delivering 7.66%. Kotak Arbitrage Fund gave 7.0% over 3 years and 6.0% over 1 year. The pros? Higher potential returns than liquid funds. And here's the game changer, tax efficiency. Arbitrage funds are treated as equity funds for taxation. Hold for more than 12 months. And you pay long-term capital gains tax at just 12.5% on gains above 1.25 lakh rupees. Compare that to FDs where interest is taxed at your slab rate, 30% if you are in that bracket. The con? Redemption takes 2 days more, 1 extra day compared to liquid funds. And returns can dip in months with low arbitrage spreads. Equity savings funds are the dark horse. They invest in a mix of equity, arbitrage, and debt, giving you equity-like returns with lower volatility. The numbers: category average 3-year return is 8.09%. Mirae Asset Equity Savings Fund leads with 9.8% over 3 years, followed by Kotak Equity Savings at 9.7% and SBI Equity Savings at 9.2%. Like arbitrage funds, they enjoy equity tax treatment, 12.5% LTCG after 12 months. But, and this is a big but, equity savings funds can have negative returns. Over 1-month periods, they had negative returns 26.2% of the time. That's a problem for an emergency fund. The risk-return trade-off is real. Higher returns come with higher volatility. For a pure emergency fund, that volatility is a liability. Let's do some math that'll make you sit up. Suppose you have 6 lakh rupees parked. Over 3 years, at 7% annual return, you earn about 1.35 lakh rupees in gains. If this is in an FD, that 1.35 lakh rupees is taxed at your slab rate. At 30%, you lose 40,500 rupees to tax. Your post-tax return drops to just 4.9%. If this is in an arbitrage or equity savings fund held for over 12 months, you pay LTCG at 12.5% only on gains above 1.25 lakh rupees. So on 1.35 lakh rupees gains, you pay tax on just 10,000 rupees, that's 1,250 rupees in tax. Savings of over 39,000 rupees. That's not chump change, that's a meaningful difference. This is why parking your emergency fund in the right instrument matters. Tax efficiency compounds over time. So what should you do with your emergency corpus? Here's the simple recommendation: park everything in liquid funds. Why? Because emergencies don't send a calendar invite. When you need money, you need it now. Liquid funds give you next day redemption, with instant access up to 50,000 rupees. No exit load, no penalty, no questions asked. Spread your corpus across 2 or 3 liquid funds from different AMCs to stay within the 50,000 rupees instant redemption limit per fund per day. For a 6 lakh rupees corpus, that gives you instant access to 1.5 lakh rupees across 3 funds on day 1, with the rest arriving the next day. This is the KISS principle, that is, keep it simple and stupid. Now, for those who want to optimize, here's a slightly more sophisticated approach. Allocate 40% to liquid funds and 60% to equity savings funds. Why? The liquid portion gives you immediate access for true emergencies. The equity savings portion gives you higher returns with equity tax treatment. On a 6 lakh rupees corpus, 2.4 lakh rupees in liquid funds gives you instant plus next day access. 3.6 lakh rupees in equity savings funds gives you growth potential and tax efficiency. But there's a third option. Allocate entirely to arbitrage funds. They offer the simplicity of liquid funds, T plus 2-day redemption, and the benefit of equity taxation. Which one is right for you? It depends on your risk tolerance and tax bracket. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Here's a pro tip: use credit cards as a bridge. Imagine this scenario: it's 2 a.m., your mother needs hospital admission. Your mutual fund redemption will take until tomorrow. Your credit card gives you immediate access. Use it for the payment. Then redeem your mutual funds the next day and pay off the card before the due date. Zero interest. Problem solved. But, and I cannot stress this enough, this is dangerous territory. Credit card interest rates are 36% to 42% per annum. If you don't pay the full amount by the due date, that emergency becomes a debt trap that could take years to escape. Use credit cards as a timing tool, not as a funding source. Let's recap what we've covered. 1. Your emergency fund is insurance, not investment. Safety, liquidity, and stability come first. Returns come last. 2. Size it against your essential monthly expenses. 3 to 12 months depending on your situation. Not your salary, your survival expenses. 3. Liquid funds are your best friend. T plus 1-day redemption, instant access up to 50,000 rupees, no exit load. 4. Arbitrage and equity savings funds offer better tax efficiency, 12.5% LTCG after 12 months, but come with slightly longer redemption times or higher volatility. 5. Allocate wisely. Simple, 100% liquid funds. Optimized, 40% liquid plus 60% equity savings. Or consider arbitrage funds as a middle path. 6. Credit cards are bridges, not solutions. Use them wisely. Here's the uncomfortable question: when was the last time you reviewed your emergency fund? Not set it up, reviewed it. Is it still the right size for your current expenses? Is it parked in the right instruments? Are you losing money to taxes unnecessarily? Most people set up their emergency fund once and forget about it. But your life changes, your expenses change, your tax bracket changes, your emergency fund needs to change with it. If you haven't reviewed your emergency fund in the last year, or worse, if you don't have one at all, you're not just unprepared. You are gambling with your financial future. The best time to build an emergency fund was yesterday. The second best time is today. Don't wait for the 2 a.m. phone call to realize you're not prepared. I help people like you who are in your 30s, juggling career, family, and financial goals to build emergency funds that actually work. Not generic advice. Personalized plans that consider your situation, your risk tolerance, your tax bracket. Here's what I offer: a completely free, no obligation portfolio review session. We'll look at your entire financial picture, not just your emergency fund, and identify gaps you didn't even know existed. And if you're interested in joining my early retirement community for ongoing guidance and support, we can talk about that too. But right now, let's start with the emergency fund. Remember Rahul, the IT professional I told you about at the start? He learned the hard way. He built his emergency fund after the layoff. He now has 12 months of expenses in a mix of liquid and equity savings funds. He sleeps better at night. I want that peace of mind for you. Your emergency fund is the foundation. Everything else, your investments, your retirement plans, your dreams, rests on it. Build a strong foundation, and the rest stands tall. So here's my challenge to you: in the next 7 days, calculate your essential monthly expenses. Multiply by 6. And start building, or reviewing. Your future self will thank you.